Hey y'all, what's happening? Alright, before I even get started, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, I'm the fuck at work. I fit it in where I fit it in. This shit ain't paying my bills. So anyway, we are gonna do a review on episode 1 of Monster, the Ed Gein story. Now let me just tell you, I ain't never heard this man before, and anybody that know me knows that I love me a good serial killer. I know how that sounds, but I do it. Like, I find them so fascinating. I love learning about serial killers. I feel like I don't learn about them all. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Ed today. All right. I had to write notes because I didn't want to skip ahead because I did finish the season. That's what made me want to come back and do a review because I liked it so much. But anyway, we got to start off with big ups to Charlie Hunnam. I think that's how you say it. Hunnam, whatever. He gonna always be Jax to me. Shout out to Sons of Anarchy because that was my man on Sons of Anarchy. So shout out to Jax. I see you, boy. No, for real though. Oh, there go the light. Okay, so opening scene, Ed, he just in the barn shuffling hay, milking the cow. It was a little weird. He was caressing the cow a little bit, and then it literally looked like he was washing his hands in the milks. But I mean, I ain't got to drink it. But if that's what people doing, I think I'm gonna reevaluate drinking milk for a while. So they fast forward or whatever, next scene, he's walking over to a home just casually, like he belongs there. He's supposed to be there. He walks right the fuck on in. Clearly this is not his home because he's peeping through the cracks of a door, watching these two young ladies try on their brasiers, the pointy ones. So they in there having a little girl chit chat. One name is Adeline. The other one was Madison, I think. Yes, Madison. They just having chit chat, and Ed is being a creep. Looking through the guy. First of all, who the fuck told you to go in a house? You just walking up in these motherfuckers' house? You don't care. Whatever. So he helped himself walk up in there. He watching them try on bras, and Adeline being a little fast tail. You know, he stepped on a little crack, and she like, mother, is that you? Doing all this and shit. Whatever. She runs out the room. Don't even think to put on a shirt. So if it was a mass murderer, I mean, yeah, you just die in your bra that you ain't even supposed to technically have because you hide it from your mama, but whatever. Ed gets gone real quick. It's like that, like he was never there, okay? Now, before I keep going, I do have to say, Charlie, my boy Jax. Am I the only one that feel like he sounds like Ernie from Sesame Street? Well, I don't know. How about you? Like, okay, he sounds like that to me. Maybe that's just me. When you watch it, or if you watched it, comment and tell me who you think he sound like. Because I swear I was getting Sesame Street vibes. I'm just tripping off his voice. Like, I didn't even know you could sound like that, my brother. Now, anyway. Now, he's back at home. He in his room. He having private time. His private time consists of wearing his mother's underwear. He had a belt tied around his neck, kind of like stuck in the door. He was damn near hanging himself by the belt. He was standing on a chair, and he was choking his chicken. Now, listen. To each his own. If that's how you get off, that's your business. That ain't my business. You live how you live. But in the early 1900s, I mean, like, I'm talking between the 30s and 50s of the 1900s, yeah, you probably want to keep that under wraps. So his nosy ass mama walks up in there. Mother. She just barge up in there. He fall on the floor. He can't even look her in the face because he already know he don't fucked up. So she's like, you brought sin in this house. Grabs the Bible, makes him takes the shit off. He's standing in front of her, ass naked. Okay? Just nothing but what the good Lord gave him. He covering his stuff up. I mean, thankfully. And she reading scriptures to him about, I guess, how that's wrong. And then she's like, why would you do that? He was like, I thought it was funny. She looking at him like, nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, only a mother would love you. Like, she just over him at this point. She let him get dressed or whatever. And she's like, I just don't want you to deal with no women and none of these. Promise me you'll never lay with a Jezebel and what she called her, whatever they used, the words they used to use back in the day. But she was like, he said, I wouldn't lay with a Jezebel. She was like, oh, you're talking about that Pandora. You're talking about that Pandora. You know who Pandora is? Adeline, who his ass is spying on just about 40 minutes, an hour ago. I don't know. They don't really give you a time perception in the show. So now, it's the next day. Ed is at, I guess this is like the convenience store / milk shop / mail shop. I guess it's like an all-in-one. I don't know. But they go, they eat, they have coffee, they chill. Like, that's their little spot in Plainsville, Wisconsin. Remind me to never go to Wisconsin, too, by the way. Anyway, first, before Adeline comes in, Ed just sitting there, and it was these two girls sitting at the counter, and he just sit there, he's smiling, he looking at them, and it was, see, Charlie's so goddamn handsome, so I can't see no wrong in this, but I know it probably was creepy in real life. So he's sitting there, he's just looking at them, and he's like, you guys are from around here, huh? I'm sorry, the voice takes me out every time. And they just kind of like get like that creep vibe. They basically just get up and leave. They don't even answer his ass. So the man, the little shopkeep, the owner or whatever, he's like, hey, you can't do that. He was like, what? Talk to a girl? I'm sorry. So then the dude just kind of like shut up because he right. He like, what the fuck? He like, what did I do? All I did was just ask them, are they from around here? Like, what am I doing wrong? Which I get. Like, get off his back. You feel me? Anyway, Adeline comes in. She pulls him to the counter, to a booth, and she shows him these graphic photos she got from some girl in New York. And this is around the time of the Holocaust. So right now, I guess where was that? Germany or something, where they was enslaving the Jews and torturing them and the massacre and all that stuff. That's around this time. So Adeline is showing him photos of what's been happening, like all the dead bodies and stuff, and his eyes light up like the 4th of July. Then she gives him this goddamn comic book. It's called Bitch Something. It's in German, but it's basically a comic book of this woman who tortures and kills the Jews, and she's like skinning them and running experiments on them, turning their skin into like lampshades and all this stuff, just all type of crazy stuff. So Adeline gives him this. Cool, whatever. So boom, now he back at home, he chopping up the wood. His brother, Henry comes in. Mind you, the mom been looking for Henry. Henry been running off with his girlfriend. He like, I ain't with none of this that stuff y'all own over here. Like, I'm gonna live a normal life. So he comes in, he playing around with Ed, and he telling him like, look, something ain't right with mom. Like, I'm out of here. Like, I wanna marry the girl that he been with. He was like, I'm gonna marry her and I'm leaving. He was like, and you need to go too. Mom's not right. Like, you need to go. So Ed says something to make, I think he said, oh, there go mom right there. So Henry steps into like the doorway of the barn, and his back is towards Ed. Ed takes this big thick ass log, boop, right upside his goddamn brother head, knocks his ass cold out. You see the blood coming out, everything. So Ed's like, I got you, bro. Like, basically, like, I was just playing. Like, I got you real good, you know. Basically, don't be talking about my mama. So Henry is laying there unresponsive, of course. Ed leaves stressed out. He's like, what the hell? Like, I think it hit him like, oh shit, what did I just do? He's leaving, and as he's outside the barn, he stops and he turns around. Henry gets up, rubbing his head. He's like, yeah, you sure got me good. You know, like, you know what, you're right. I'm going to talk to mom. I'm going to make it right with mom. And, you know, basically, like, everything Ed wants to hear out because he don't want his brother to leave. So, Henry closed the barn door, and that's the end of that. So then, Ed is at dinner with his mother, and he asks about Henry. He's like, Mom, have you talked to Henry? He said he was going to come talk to you. I kind of do that voice a little well, I don't know. And even tell me how I like my Ed impersonation, because I'm kind of proud of myself. I actually kind of sound like it. But anyway, she was like, he's dead to me. You know, he's running off with that whore. Like, screw him, you know, whatever. She don't want to talk about him. Then she gets into their dad. She's like, well, you know, your dad was nothing but a drunk, and he stank so much, and, you know, I let him defile me twice. I told you that. You know that. Like, that's what she's saying at the dinner table, y'all, while she messing this little bird up that she don't cook. Now, she was like, your dad ain't never gave me nothing but a evil son who humiliates her and is determined to drag them all to hell. That's Henry. And a weak son who seems set on breaking his mother's heart. That's Ed. And then she was like, only a mother can love you. She keeps telling him that. Talk about psychological warfare. So it's the next day. Ed goes back to the barn, and sure enough, Henry dead. Dead as a goddamn doorknob, okay? He on the floor. He ain't moving. He's stiff. He dead. Alright. So Ed started banging his head, tripping out like, oh, I thought I was just imagining things. He said, I thought I was joking. Like, he didn't, I guess for him, he didn't realize that he actually did it. He thought he was daydreaming, you know, like he thought he just pictured him doing it. He didn't think he really did it. Because remember, I told you when he left, his brother Henry was laughing and telling him, oh, you got me good, I'm gonna talk to mom, like, don't worry about it or whatever. So this is where she get good, because it's like, if you did a dive into who this person is, this Ed Gein, like I did, because I don't just watch a show and be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. No, I wanted to know what was fact, what was fiction, and what didn't they put in it. So I was getting the tea. Okay, spill the tea. I was getting the tea. But anyway, so Ed drags Henry out into, like, I guess where they make bush fires and stuff on the farm. And he lays Henry body next to a bushfire that he starts. That's where the acting come in at. So now he running, mother. He said, mother, Henry was here. I need help. I can't find him. He was like, I'll go get the police. You can look for him. And she's like, no, you go look for him. I'll get the cops or whatever. That's what he planned on anyway. So the fire department come, the police come. They find Henry body, just like Ed wanted. There's like, oh, he's cold. Yeah. Now we at the medical examiner office, and a police officer, Ed, and the medical examiner, they standing over Henry's body. And the medical examiner is telling him, like, well, Ed, the body was stiff. Ed literally says, He said, it's getting cold out. That was his motherfucking response, bro. So now the medical examiner just sitting there puzzled, like, But not the kind of puzzled you would think, okay? Remember, this is like the 1930s to 50s, or somewhere in that time. It's very early in the 1900s. White men are everything. Now the medical examiner says the bruises are quite peculiar, but I'm gonna rule this examination. He clearly had to. His heart could have stopped from all this smoke. That was a lot of smoke. To be a white man in America, that's all I'm gonna say. Like. So just forget the bruises. I'm sure it's a big gash on the back of his head from that thick ass log that he got boo-bopped with upside his head. But it was the fire. The smoke killed him and caused him to be stiff as a doorknob the same day that he died. You did your big one on that one, Ed. Oh, fun fact. There is no legal or any proof that Ed actually killed his brother in real life. They say that there was, the ruling was what they said it was in the show, an accidental death or whatever. He did have bruises. They did say that Henry in real life did have bruises, but they never tied it to Ed. I think he did, but hey, I wasn't there. So Ed comes home from the medical examiner's office, and he's walking in, talking to his mom. She's at the table. It appears to be that she's sobbing with her head on the table. And he's like, Mother, Henry wasn't a good son, and I'm going to be the best son for you. And, I'm the man of the house now. I'm going to take care of you. Y'all, Mother has had a stroke. Okay, she's like, oh God, my son is dead. The one I really liked. And now I'm stuck here with this crazy ass man that likes to wear my underwear and choke himself. Like, she don't had a damn stroke. She couldn't take it. So Ed takes his mom to the doctor, of course. She get checked out. Yeah, she had a stroke. She on blood thinners, blah, blah, blah. So he brings her home. She's in a wheelchair now. He carries her upstairs. He strips her down. It's naked. And he starts to wash her. He's very delicate. Yes. A little too delicate in my opinion. To be a grown man washing your mother. I mean, yes, you want to get her clean, but it was like sensual. But whatever. So he washing her, and in the sweetest, kindest way, I guess you can say. So now it don't completely jump. Now we jump straight to a German woman now cleaning a dead body, which appears to be a Jew, because he had the allergies. He had the numbers stamped on his arm, so he was a Jew, she was German. and she's prepping him for something, but he's already dead. Her daughter comes in and interrupts what she's doing, so she gets dressed. They go upstairs. She fussing at her daughter. Didn't I tell you don't be bothered? In German, of course. So I'm paraphrasing, but anyway, didn't I tell you don't be bothering me while I'm working? Boom. They having some little party, like a little gathering. It's real low key. The kids are out riding the horses and stuff, and that's what the daughter came and got her for. She's like, basically her sister not sharing a horse. So the German woman, because I do not know her name, walks up to her daughter on the pony and smacked the shit out of her. Like, she had to shit on herself as hard as she got hit. Because I was like, God damn. This should be some, and that's probably why they got laws against this shit now. It hit her hard as hell. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm watching to make sure the game ain't ended. But anyway, she smacks the shit out of her. As she walking through the house and stuff, she smacks her and tell her, share with your sister. Like, I told you to share. As she's walking through the party, checking on everything, you could tell she's a perfectionist. The cake was a little uncentered from the chandelier. She scooted it over like perfectly. So she's a perfectionist. She big on that, whatever. Gotta keep your head on swivel, y'all, if you watching. But anyway. What was I saying? She came, she smacked her. Perfectionist. Okay, so her, I guess another one of her daughters called her for help. She got this baby in there, shaving these Jews' heads. Anybody who watched Schindler's List knows exactly what I'm talking about, because I seen it. I told you, I mean, technically they're serial killers, so yes, I like history of serial killers. So yeah, she got the daughter in there shaving heads, and she's like, basically, I can't do it. So the mom took it, and she explained to her how she got to do it, and it was like a little mother-daughter moment on shaving a slave's head. So yeah, that happened. So fast forward, it's nighttime now. There ain't no kids around. Now the adults are playing. Okay, they drinking, they smoking their cigarettes, they chilling, they having a good time. And the German woman is sitting on a horse in the house, inside of the house, and she's chasing a German woman around the house and just basically torturing these people. And of course they're having fun doing it. Anybody know the story? Y'all know, everybody know how that went. Whatever. And if you ain't guessed by now, the German lady is the goddamn woman in the comic book that Adeline gave Ed. So this is all in his mind. He's reading the damn comic book. So what I noticed with this show is it's gonna be hard to know what's real and what's fake. Like, you really gotta pay attention, because he's in his head a lot. And just from this first episode, I could tell his mind is like broken. Like, he can't tell reality from fiction at all. You can tell that he's jumping back and forth between reality. So that usually comes with being a serial killer. But anyway, yes, it's the dang comic book lady. So at this point, some time has passed. I want to say it's been about a year, because like I said, I did a deep dive, and they said that the mom, well, I'm fast forwarding. Okay, I'll tell you this. Some time has passed, because now the mom is walking around with a cane, and she can talk again. So she yelling for Ed. She's like, hey, Ed, we gotta go to the Smith's farm. And he's like, Mother, I'll do it. She's like, no, you're not gonna get our $10. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get our money. So he drives her down to the Smith's farm. At this time, the Smith is having some kind of domestic issue. Now, everybody is a Charlotte and a whore and all this shit because they're not married. But she's shacking up with a man. So Smith got the dog of the woman that he with, and it looked like he was about to drown the damn dog. He's like, this basically, he tired of taking care of that dog. That dog costs money. I tell anybody, you got a dog, that's another mouth to feed, dead ass. So while they having their little domestic thing, mother gets out of the truck and she is yelling, yeah, hard, yeah, Charlotte, yeah, hard, just kept calling her damn harlot or Charlotte or whatever. She just kept screaming it over and over and over and over again to where she just fell over and died. It's not nice to say, but Karma's a bitch. She was a very mean lady. Like, no wonder Ed was fucked up. For real, for real. But anyway. So, what I was about to say is, it had to have been about a year, because when I did my research, it said that his mother died a year after his brother. So, it was about a year later. But like I said, there's no perception of time in the show. There's no perception of time in the show. I'm trying to stick to this one episode and not jump to other episodes, so we're just going to stay focused on this one. There's no perception of time thus far in this show. So now we at the funeral. Ed has a funeral for his mom. There's about 5 people there, including Ed. 6 if you count the priest. She wasn't a very well-liked woman. I'm sure we can guess why. Calling everyone a whore. It's like, bitch, you got kids too. Like, whatever. That mama was a trip. Anyway. After the funeral, Ed takes a long walk home. He's sad. His brother's dead. No thanks to him. His mother's dead, which you could kind of pin on Ed in a sense, because she probably would have never had the stroke. Or she could have, who's to say, but maybe he fast forwarded the stroke because he killed his brother and the grief of losing his brother. I don't know. But mom's dead, brother's dead, he's sad. So the house is silent, it's empty. He sees her rocking chair and he sits in it and he just starts rocking. Out of no fucking where, this loud ass voice, "Get out of that chair!" It's his mama. That shit scared the fuck out of me. I stood up. I said, oh shit. Who's she talking to? Me? It's like, I watch shit like this with the lights on. But she straight yelled, "Get out of that chair." Like I said, me and Ed both stood up. Okay, we was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Anyway, so the next day, he's back to regular programming, shuffling hay, milking cows, feeding the hens, just living his day-to-day life. Now that mother's gone, he's free to choke that chicken the way he wants, as he should. Gosh darn it. This time there was no choking of himself, just the chicken. So he put on his mama panties, and her pajama dress or whatever, and he got to going. Yeah. And you gotta be a fucked up individual. That's how you know this man's mind was broke, because as he's choking this chicken, his mother is whispering in his ear, "Stop that." First of all, if I'm doing anything, the last thing I want to hear is my goddamn mama voice in my head, okay? Block her out next time, Ed. Oh, yeah, he did. I'm sorry. But anyway. Yeah. He hears his mama. So, he says... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. My bad. So he says, "Mother, are you there?" She says, "You can bring me back, He says, "Tell me how." No, wait. "Tell me how." So Ed drives to the graveyard, to the cemetery, and he starts to dig up his mama. He reads a scripture first before he does. Something about the dead will rise, something like that. I didn't dig too deep on that scripture. We don't even know for sure if he read a scripture before he dug his mother up in real life. So whatever. So as he digs, he gets to the casket part, and all you hear is like metal hitting like a rock or more metal. It's like doom, doom, doom. He's like, "Mother, I can't get to you." She says, "Just dig up the whore next to me." Even in her death, she's still calling women whores. Whatever. Maybe she should have been a little bit of a whore and got some. She wouldn't have been so goddamn mad all the time. Like, god dang, lady. Anyway, so he digs up the whore next to her, puts her over his shoulder, puts her in the truck, and take her home. He took a dead body home, bro. He took a dead body home. I couldn't even touch a dead body. I have to like, ooh. Like, I think I'm gonna catch the dead or something. I don't know. Like, ugh, so unsanitary. But anyway. So he's very delicate. He washes his hand very carefully. Kind of like how he did nice and smoothly in that milk. Just very, let me see. I can show you real quick. He's like this is how he washing his hands before he touches this dead body. Don't come for me about my nails, because I do have Cash App. You can get them done. Anyway. I'm just playing. But anyway, so he washing his hands, and then he goes down to this dead whore in the chair, and he strips her down to her undies, and he just stands there smiling. Man, maybe not that happy. He's like, yeah, like that. And very creepy like. And then boom, end credits. So with that being the first episode, what y'all thinking? Like, comment below, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, because to me, I'm like, I need to go to episode 2, because this is where shit about to get really going. This is where shit about to really get started, because mom gone, brother gone. We know he got a thing for Adeline, and he be up in her house, so I want to know what's gonna happen with that. You know what I'm saying? Now he got a whole dead body in his house, y'all. The smell alone, I can only imagine. And just some more facts about Ed, who probably don't know who he is or haven't looked deep into him. I'm gonna tell you the type of serial killer he is. He skinned his victims, dead and alive. He skinned them. He killed a lot of people. They said at least more than 100. He made masks out of their faces. He took their face and he made like a whole head piece where he had the hair and everything. He made body suits because he really wanted to be a woman. And he also ate body parts. So he kind of covered all the bases of a psychopath, serial killer. And it's quite interesting to see how this story is going to play out. Tell me if this is something you into. Like, am I the only one? Because I'm a huge horror buff. Like, I love it. I live for it. I could watch it all day, every day. It's therapy to me. I don't know. We all got some fucked up mirrors out there. You know, my mind can't be broken. That's the only thing. You know, some people's minds aren't as strong as others, and minds can't be broken. And apparently Ed's was already broken. I don't even want to say his mom broke it. I mean, we're going to get deep into the story as the story goes along, but I will tell you that he wasn't the first known serial killer. But as far as for, I don't know, I'll say this, all the popular, like Bundy, Dahmer, Texas Chainsaw Massacre dude, I don't even know his name, all of them, it started with Ed. We got all these horror movies because of Ed. Ed paved the way for the serial killers, and that's what caught my interest to begin with. So, tell me what you think about episode 1. Let's talk in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed my review. Deuces.